Well, how's it going? I hope your Friday's going well. As you can see, I've got the side painted. And I didn't have to get more paint because I forgot that I ran out of the primer, which I didn't need for this side, and I still had enough of the upper color for the shop. So I got that done, just barely had enough. Well, there might be a few touch-up spots, and there is some overspray over here that I'll need to touch up, so I'll probably need to get another gallon or so. You can see some light spots in there that I'll touch up after this whole area gets built out, which is sooner rather than later. Yeah, so that is pretty much a pretty darn good coat of paint, at least for me. It's not perfect, but it is better than the other side, so I'm getting better slowly with the paint setup. Yeah, and one thing that you got to remember with those paint sprayers is even if they're turned off, they can still be pressurized. So before you start taking things apart, you might want to depressurize them by pointing them into a waste bucket, and that's why I've got three buckets here. I've got a waste spray bucket, a bucket full of water for priming, and then of course the actual paint bucket there. But I have to say that I'm actually still impressed with this Harbor Freight paint sprayer. It's been working really well. A little less than impressed with the Graco spray tip because it sprays heavy on one side. You can probably see some of the stripes from that. It just might be a function of how they work, but I'm not exactly used to that with the paint sprayers that I used at my previous place of employment. They sprayed pretty evenly and consistently. But, you know, it is what it is. It got the job done. It looks a lot better. I'm looking forward to getting the final coat of paint on the bottom section of this wall, and that'll be awesome. So the next 2 weeks, you guys should probably stay tuned pretty close. I'm going to have some pretty fun stuff happening. I'm going to be delivering to myself with some help a big surprise that's going to stay probably in this corner because that's the best area for it that I can think of, even though that means I have to run wires pretty much the farthest in the shop, but that's okay. Yeah, that's going to be fun. Some of you know what that is if you followed my blog that I did a few years ago at this point. I haven't kept up with that since I discovered Instagram. And also got busy with a whole lot of stuff. But I haven't taken this apart yet because I need to keep it mobile to get it out of the way when the delivery comes, just to give us some more working room. That should give you some idea of the size of what I'm dealing with. Yeah, so everything's been working pretty well. I've got to leave the shop a little early today, actually a lot early, because I have some wedding stuff to take care of. I'm going clothes shopping, figure out what I'm going to be wearing for the ceremony, which it's pretty much decided what colors and everything. I think it'll look pretty snazzy, but yeah, that's just other stuff that we got to get done sooner rather than later because my wedding's coming up in September, so I got to let everybody know. But if you've been following on Instagram, these are the pieces of what I've been making. Still don't have the hardware for it, and that might be the last thing I do. I might run to Lowe's or Home Depot and grab some hardware to put this together. Really liking the fab block. It's a little awkward for welding, TIG welding up at this height, but as a workbench, this is really close to what I'd actually prefer for a height because it's right there. You don't have to bend over. It's not too tall. I really like it. It rolls really nicely even over all the junk you can see on the floor, which I gotta clean up, but that's another thing. Yeah, most of you know I probably have an older Everlast 200 DV. Right now I'm running it on 110, and for almost everything I do, that is more than enough, and That's my travel TIG rig, basically. I usually have a bigger bottle, but I'm using that, and then I got to find a local supplier and get some bigger bottles in. I may actually be working a deal with my landlord, who owns the metal company, sheet metal company that's in that building, and I gotta go drop off my rent check because it's the first today. So I might, if he's in, I'm probably gonna ask him if we can work out a deal where I can basically just pay for, you know, the bottle rental fee, because you don't typically own the large bottles. You have to lease them because we're not responsible enough human beings to be able to buy our own large bottles of compressed gases. That's another story. But yeah, I might be able to work out a deal with him soon for that, because I am actually doing more welding, and I have a bunch more that I'll be doing in the next month. I've got some other projects lined up. I'll actually probably have a race car in the shop, which is going to be exciting. That's part of the delivery. That's not the whole delivery, but that's definitely part of the delivery. That's going to be happening in 2 weekends. So that's definitely a fun thing that I'm looking forward to. And it'll be good to have work in the shop that's paying work. So, but if you guys know of anybody in New Jersey that's looking for motorcycle tweaking, like I actually really like working on older motorcycle frames and, you know, doing custom seat pans and stuff like that. Yeah, that would be great if you could send them my way, because that's fun. I like doing off-road stuff, and I'm going to be getting a tube bender. That's one of my next big purchases, because I have some cage work to do and some possibly aftermarket protection stuff for a few underserved truck segments, I guess you could say. So, but yeah, so that's a few of the fun things coming up, and stay tuned. If you have any, oh, actually I wanted to ask you guys, do you have any tips on taking off this crusty stuff without ruining the paint? Because I didn't like them. They were kind of falling off, the side bumper stuff. But I don't know. I'm not a body man. I don't really detail cars, as you can see. But there's going to be some work getting this in a little bit better shape, because I don't want to leave that all exposed. I'd like to, you know, some of the paint still has a pretty good shine on it. But I've never been a fan of pinstriping or anything like that. So if you've got any tips on how to take off those striping and all this other hard caked on gunk, I'd really appreciate that. If you just hit me up in the comments or on Instagram or Facebook. Yeah, that's basically about it. I'll catch you guys probably next week. I might be at the shop tomorrow. If not, then it'll be Monday before I'm back here. Because, yeah, I need to get some stuff done around the house. And, oh, sneak peek. You guys might recognize some of those. I'm still trying to find a bunch of stuff after my move, so I haven't done anything with that. But yeah, I'm liking how this is going, and I think in the next few weeks we're going to see pretty significant positive change in this space. So yeah, anyway, catch you later. Have a great weekend if you're not working. If you are working, stay safe, be awesome, do the best work you can do, and knock out all the stuff. So, catch you later, and be awesome, generally. Yeah. Bye.